Hey everybody, it's Nina Motivates. Hey everybody, welcome to the You Can Show on ICU Radio. I am so excited to be your host for this time period, and I hope you tune in every single week. Listen, this is the best place to come to for your jazz and gospel and the best talk show hosts. Okay, all of us, we all about. I hope you all have been catching all of the different segments with the talk show hosts because we pour from the heart and you gonna always get something different, something good, something great, and something powerful. So listen up here. I have another amazing guest for y'all. Shh. No, don't be quiet. Don't not tell nobody. Text everybody. Tell them to hop on because this is about to be another great episode. And before we begin, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna give you your scripture of the week. We got 2 Timothy 1:7. God did not give us the spirit of fear, but what he give us? Power, love, and self-control and a sound mind. Some versions say self-control, some say a sound mind. I'm saying both to you, which leads us to our affirmation, which says, I have power, love, and a sound mind. When you put those affirmations with the word of God, you cannot go wrong, people. You can't go wrong. And then to give you our book writing tip of the week, listen, I want to make sure I remember every episode to do these things, y'all. So if any episode I don't do it, all you got to do is send me an email at publishernina@gmail.com and I'll give you a publishing tip or affirmation scripture and all of the things. So for this week, I want to tell y'all, now this is a secret. This is a secret. Did you know that you could publish a book for absolutely $0 and 0 cents? Now, do I recommend going that route? No. But if you need to, if you like, let me get this book out here, let me do it, I've written it, what do I do next? And that's usually the question a lot of people have. I'm going to tell you, you could go to kdp.com. Let me correct that, kdp.amazon.com. And you could really publish a book for free. You could use their ISBN and barcode. You could use their book cover designer. You can use all of the things. And then you can even go on Grammarly and get some little editing done to your book. You can even go on Fiverr.com. Well, the book cover won't be free on Fiverr.com, but on Canva, you can create it yourself. The first thing you will do is go to kdp.amazon.com. You want to use that cover calculator to make sure you do the book cover correct, or you can even use their cover converter in as you are uploading your book. So we'll talk more and more and more about I'm gonna do one episode just all about book publishing. Not gonna tell you when, but you have to stay tuned and tune in every single week to make sure you don't miss it. So let's get right into it because I want you all to meet this beautiful, beautiful soul, Miss Lorriell. Let me tell y'all a little bit about Lorriell. I met her, she had to be maybe like 16. She was in high school and she was on a radio show at the same time I was on a radio show, and she was talking about being bullied, and I resonated so much with her. Why? Because I was bullied as a kid and in school. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I was even bullied in my 20s. We're gonna talk about that in church. Okay, that's a whole nother subject. But but it's the real, it's the truth, it's the real. It happened and it happens. So we're about to bring Lorriell on. She is the confidence coach. She's an author. She's a beautiful soul. I know y'all gonna love her. So, hey Lorriell, hey girl,
Hello,
hey.
hello.
How are you today?
I am great. How are you?
Good. I'm excellent. I'm blessed by the best. Can't complain if I wanted to. So listen, I know we have a limit amount of time here, and we can talk forever, which we always do. L'Oreal is also my mentee, and I can't wait to see people that she mentored because she's the bomb. She's bomb.com. And so I want you to tell the audience a little bit about you. Tell them about your first book. Tell them about what you got coming out. Tell them who you are, what you do. Let them know a little bit about you. Then we'll get into talking about bullying and all of the other things. Confidence building, because that is so important. And people do get bullied as kids and adults. So before we go too far, I want them to get to know a little bit about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lorriell. I am the confidence coach. I have been published 4 times, going on my 5th time. The very first book I was published in was Miss Nina's You Can book, but my second book was first official book that I published all on my own, was My Girlfriend Runs the Mafia. And it was a book that I wrote about the mafia. And every time I read a mafia story, there will always be like the strong male lead who changes a damsel and makes her like into his world. But I've never seen it flip where the girl is the boss. And so I wanted to do that, and I did that on my own. I made the whole story as a whole series. The rest of the series is coming out. Then I did another book collective with Miss Nina, and that was the 40 Days of Fuel, and it was just a devotional, which was amazing. And now I am working on the Confidence Code, which is the book that I am publishing very soon. The Confidence Code is going to highlight things that helps you build your confidence and bring you back, will bring you to uh, self-love and a stronger, confident version of yourself. Um, I also am a life coach, and I am on a TikTok.
Okay, y'all hear that? So we're gonna have to make sure everybody follow you on Tick of the Top. Y'all know who you following and subscribing and sharing and all of the things because she talks a lot about confidence on her TikTok, which I absolutely love when she goes into it. And so when I met you again, it was because you were being bullied in high school. Like most of the
Mhm.
time, bullies do a lot of stuff in grammar school, but it does happen in high school and even as adults. And so if you
Mhm.
have children, go grab your kids. Go grab them, y'all. Let your children hear this episode with you because it could be something said to help them to stand against bullying. It could be something said to help them to know what to do to how to build their own confidence if they are being bullied and so much more. So either way it go, make sure you go and grab your children. Lorriell, tell us about your situations and the things that was happening when you yourself was being bullied. And yeah, let's start there.
So for me, bullying started when I was in grammar school. I've always been bigger than other kids, either whether it was like in height or in size. I've just been bigger. And it used to start first, it just was like verbal, aha, you're fat, and all the fat jokes they could possibly tell. Then they started noticing that my upbringing, like the way I was being raised, was different from them. Like they got all the name brand stuff, they had whatever they wanted. And they took that kind of stuff and ran with it, like, oh, she's so different. She's fat and she don't even get stuff that we get. Like, and it was always this like you're not with us kind of thing. And it went follow me all the way from grammar school because I changed grammar schools quite a few times. But every grammar school they started the same way. And even when I got into high school, it was the same thing. It was like, okay, now I'm a teenager. I mean, I'm still big, but like it was just like the more I tried to be invisible, the more they sought me out.
So I'm not even going to bring myself back on the screen. Can you tell us how you overcame bullying? Like, people don't realize oftentimes the effect that bullying has on
Yeah.
people, right? And so when I was bullied, I didn't want to go to the bathroom when I was bullied in elementary school because I knew the bully was going to come in there. And that was
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. That was something that tortured me to the point where is one day I said, I'm gonna stand up to her. After she had bullied me for 2 years already though. And so I
Right.
was like, I'm gonna stand up to her. She started in fourth grade. We was around about sixth grade now when I decided to stand up to her and I almost got in trouble. I'm like, but she
Mm-hmm.
been bullying me all these years and now y'all want to get me in trouble. I was tired of her. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes, sadly, what people don't realize is sometimes people go to the very extreme and hurt somebody else or hurt themselves. I
Mm-hmm.
used to do this thing called the Bully Project and go and show it to people and talk about bullying because I know how it hurt me. And I know you wrote a poem called Snapped. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to have you to come back and still do the poem one day. But how did bullying affect you and how did you overcome bullying?
It bullying affects me in the worst way possible. I feel like it really I was 14 years old actually. I think I was 14 when I met you. And I remember I was just full with so much self-hate. Like I don't take a picture of me because I don't want to see it. Don't show me a picture. If you take a picture of me, like I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I dressed. I hated everything about me. Things that I couldn't even control. I just deeply hated myself. And I always was like very critical of myself, even to the point where like, even if the bullies didn't bully me that day, I still found something to be like, you could have did that better. Why you get a B on your test? Like you just stupid. I was so mean to myself. And the way it happened for me, and I always people, it may not happen for you this way, but the way I decided that enough was enough. It's like one day, I think in my sophomore year, I was exhausted. And it just felt like I had a target on my back. Everybody, including teachers, was hard on me that day. It seemed like the bullying had got to a point where they were pushing me into lockers. I just felt like trash. And as I was walking home, I'm like, this has to be the last day that I feel like this. I've had so much self hate and just rage. I didn't know what to do. And I remember going home and just standing in front of the mirror, and I just remember I just started bawling. And it was to the point where I'm just like crying my eyes. I'm like, I can't keep feeling like this. I can't keep having this issue where I'm even an enemy to myself. Something has to change. And I remember I just sat there, I cried, and I started praying. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. I need something now. I need help. I need you to help me. And for a brief moment, I had a thought like maybe I shouldn't be here. And I'm like, the devil. That's when I really started praying like really, really hard. I'm like, God, you have to help me because I know I deserve to live. I don't know for what yet, but I deserve to live. I deserve to be on this earth. I deserve to take up space. And I remember just praying and crying. And then all of a sudden, I just like got naked as the day I was born. I'm done. I still don't understand why I did that to this day. But I stood in front of that mirror and I just looked at myself and I just started to say, I am bold. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worth it. And the more I started saying that, the more it just felt like all the hurt, all the pain that I had been experiencing from being bullied just started to melt away. And I just started to stand taller. And that was the day I decided that if everybody else is gonna hate me, I'm gonna have one ally with myself. I'm gonna love myself unconditionally, and that's the day that I started literally like just pouring love into myself. I wake up in the morning like I am worthy, I am loved, I am appreciated, I deserve to be here, and that mindset of I deserve to be here began to grow, and I began to walk tall, and I began to be unapologetically myself, regardless of differences of what I have with everybody else, and that began to make the bullies like, oh, she different. Something different about her. We gotta leave her alone now. I think by my senior year, almost all my bullies wanted to be my friend. So it was about I had to stop believing them and believing in myself, and it made the whole thing different.
You know what? That is so important because if people realize how you can believe in you. You can counteract every negative thought, every negative comment, saying, every negative action by being your most positive self for you first. And when you do
Mm-hmm.
that, then that make people that was not so positive or not that didn't believe in you, that wanted to bully you, wanted to pick on you, laugh at you, and everything else. Really, they're silently being like, how can I get that confident? How can I be like you when I grow up? I still have people that I grew up with or that saw me in high school, grammar school, that say, man, you have always been this or you've always been that. You never let things bother you. And sometimes I did let things bother me, but I tried not to show it as much. But even when I did, it was like, okay, I can't let people know that this is bothering me. Like, people didn't know why I wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
going to the bathroom, or even when I was an adult in my 20s, in my later 20s, at that mid to later 20s, and I'm in a choir stand at church and I'm being bullied by another adult in the choir stand at church. It's like you don't expect those type of things, but I stood my ground on who I was. And
Mm-hmm.
even that bully had to eventually say, man, I was being cruel to you and you were still being nice and you were still being this way. We hear kill people with kindness when we don't say kill anybody, okay? But the
Right.
thing is, you turn people around when you know who you are and you stand in who you are and you're bold in who you are. So when you became confident in who you were, not only did they stop bullying you, but you made them want to be your friend. Like, that's so
Mhm.
powerful, just being able to be who you are and not change it. Because you could have changed. You could have tried to be a bully. You could have tried to, hurt folks or do anything, but you decided a different route, which leads us into confidence. What do you feel confidence is, and how can someone who feels like, man, I'm really lacking in confidence? Do you have any tips that you can leave? And I know, like I told you before, confidence is your hot spot, meaning you have that pilot lit. You see people without confidence, and you look at them, and you could just be like, no, you need something. You need the boost, a boost of something. You even said when we were out together recently that you were talking to somebody, and you're not a big hugger, but she made you want to hug her, and the Holy Spirit told you to hug
Yeah.
her, and you did, and you felt something different. So that is just you giving. We don't realize, like, God created us to feel and to have emotions and to be a certain way. And when He created us and He gave us these gifts, oftentimes He has us to do different things, to give gifts to other people, and we don't realize. So you may have given her a boost of confidence or a boost of anything just by hugging her and stepping outside of your comfort zone. So I'm gonna step out of the way, and I want you to talk about confidence. What is confidence? How do a person even identify if they're lacking confidence or if they need to boost their confidence, and what could they do to do that?
Okay, so confidence to me, everybody has their own definition of confidence, but the way I view confidence is, can you unapologetically walk into a room and be comfortable in your own skin when you step in that room? Can you walk with your head held high, not be ashamed of who you are? If you can, that means you have the confidence that you need. If you can't, that means you probably need a confidence boost. And I'm the confidence booster, so you need to give me. I'm just playing. But no, for real, if when confidence, when you walk and you go into a room, you know who you are, that just shows that you're really confident in who you are. And if you don't have confidence, there's several ways to make up for that. There are several things you can do to make up for that. When I first started my confidence journey, I started with affirmations. I would stand in the mirror until I got sick of seeing my face, which was never, because I needed to see it. So when I stood in front of the mirror, I would say, I am bold, I am beautiful, I love me, I am worthy. Today I am exceptional at everything that I do. And just being able to speak that positivity into the air and being able to say those things as though they were, you begin to feel them and you begin to walk like you are bold. You begin to speak like you are bold because you have already spoken it over your day. If affirmations aren't your thing, you could try something else. A lot of people like to read self-help books. Maybe you can find confidence in that. A lot of people find confidence and creativity. But when you are lacking confidence, the one thing you can't do is give up on yourself. You have to find what works for you. I remember when I first, I don't, and it's surprising, I don't have any rings on. When I first started my confidence journey, I bought rings and I put promises in each one of my rings. Today, I'm going to shine unapologetically. I'm going to love myself in spite of all. And all I will have rings on my fingers, and those will be my promises to myself. And it was a visual reminder that, hey, you remember you're supposed to keep this promise to yourself. And the more you work on, just like, it starts with just like learning how to give yourself a chance. Learning, like, you've tried hating yourself, you tried not liking yourself, you tried being uncomfortable. Try giving yourself a little extra love. Try giving yourself that push to say, okay, I know I might need help. Look for somebody who you may look up to, like a mentor, somebody who has the confidence you want. You don't want to copy them, but you just want to see how they walk, how they move, how they carry themselves. The more you watch them and you see, like, oh, when she's in this room, when she's in this space, she stands tall. She doesn't hold her head down. She's not on her phone distracted trying to walk past a crowd. She's gonna walk past tall and unapologetic because that's who she is. That's who she is. And I think that all I have for right now.
I absolutely love it. Like, you just, and I felt your energy when people speak from their hot spot, as I call it, you get an opportunity to see and feel their passion. And even the people that's listening to this, I'm sure they're feeling your passion with that. And so thank you for
Mhm.
pouring out your heart and your passion with it. So as a confidence coach, and you have the confidence code book and workbook, she forgot to mention the workbook coming out. What do you do to help people with building confidence? And I know on my shows, people are always asking, hey, how do I get in touch? They're texting me, how do I get in touch with this person or that person? So I want you to share a little bit about what do you have coming up, if you have anything coming up, and how people can work with you to build their confidence. Because my thing is, I want people to listen to this show and to walk away knowing that they absolutely can grow in who they're supposed to be. And part of removing doubt, which is my big thing right now, which our next episode will be about removing doubt. So that's one of my hot spots, is you got to remove the doubt in order to know that you can and walk in it. But building confidence, if you don't build your confidence, it's going to be hard to do certain things. And so you have to build your confidence. When you build your confidence, people don't realize that your money is affected that way. You got to have confidence when you go on job interviews. You got to have confidence in your everyday life. You got to have confidence sometimes to even get out of bed and to operate on a daily, you know. And so I thought this would be so important to talk about it, because you're someone who lived it. You talked about what happened when you didn't have confidence and how you begin to build your confidence now. And now people are like, okay, there may be someone who needs to connect with you in some sort of way, or for any particular thing. So confidence coach Lorriell, can you tell people how you help people in the area of confidence, and how someone can even reach you if they need to?
I am a confidence coach. I specialize in confidence building and empowerment. So I offer one on one sessions, I offer group sessions. I can talk to a group. I also can talk about bullying, as you heard today. Um, if you want to reach me, you can reach me at ooh, I'm sorry, I have to pull it up. The confidence code one at gmail.com. So that's confidence code in lowercase and then the number one at gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on TikTok, which is queen.low24. So that's queen period queen period LO24 at gmail. Focus on TikTok. I'm sorry. And then also you can look me up on Instagram at plus size goddess. I should pop up. My name is Lorriell Lockhart. Also, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I have the Confidence Code Facebook page, and I also just have my uh, public page, which is Lorriell Lockhart. You can find me on any one of those places. But yeah, I can do anything you need to help you build your confidence.
There we go. We're gonna be some confidence building folks. And because you all, I want you to understand that we all have those times and period of life where we're like, can I? And we're here to tell you you can. We're here to tell you you can. If L'Oreal allowed the bullying experiences or the lack of self-confidence to stop her or hinder her, she wouldn't be who she is becoming and who she already is. So it is important for us to come out and tell you all, hey, you could build your confidence. If you found someone, L'Oreal, and I know I didn't even talk about this particular question with you, but you got it because you're a confidence coach. If you had somebody that came to you and their confidence, they believe they were an accident. And I always tell people, you are not an accident. God don't make mistakes. God knows what he's doing. He said he knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb. So he does not make accidents. He does not make mistakes. And sometimes people feel like they are because they don't believe in themselves, or they feel like they haven't seen the life that they see with other people. And I always tell people, don't compare yourself to nobody else. That's one thing. But what is
Mhm.
something you would say to that person that's just almost ready to give up because they lack self love, self worth, and self confidence? And go.
First off, I would say I know exactly what you feel. I know exactly how you feel. And that you think that you were a mistake, but I want to tell you that right now you are not a mistake. You are perfect. You are worthy. You deserve to feel unstoppable. You deserve to feel important. And the thoughts in your mind, the negative thoughts and all that stuff is a lie. You are worth it. And the one thing that people like to say is that, oh, you just get over it. But no, I know that it's hard. I know that sometimes you don't like yourself or you don't like what you see in the mirror. But I'm telling you that the version of you that is worthy, the version of you that is confident, the version of you that deserves to be loved and deserves to be seen is waiting for you. And all you have to do is fight. You have to decide in yourself that today is the last day that self doubt, that self hate, that self loathing is going to stay in my body because I deserve to feel love and I deserve to feel worthy. Today, you have to decide. Right now, you have to decide. Are you going to fight to find the more confident version of yourself? Or are you going to stay there? Because it's easier to stay behind. It's easy to wallow in self hate. It's easy to let that consume you, but it's even easier to take the first step and say, today is the last day. So make today be your last day. Start right now by just saying, I am worthy. I am important. Just reminding yourself that I am important. I am a child of a king. So I am royalty. My dad is in heaven and he is the king of kings. And I am royalty. And when you just start to remind yourself that I come from a royal priesthood, which makes me royalty, you will then start to value yourself and love yourself in the most beautiful of lights because you realize that you are precious and you are His. So today, start today with just right now saying, I am important and I am worthy. I deserve to be here and I deserve to take up space.
And she said that, period. And so I always like to have my guests to give some you can moments. And I just want you to take about 2 minutes and just speak. I know we talked a lot about confidence, we talked a lot about bullying, but sometimes God gives us things that just motivate and inspire people and push people to their next, push people outside of their comfort zone. Too many people are living in a box, and it's time for us to come out of the box. We are here to live and live life abundantly. How do I know? Because God said so. Jesus said, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And so we're having an abundant life. So much comes with that, y'all. So much comes with that. And each and every one of us has something in us to push the next person to the next level. So, Lorriell, can you just be Coach Lorriell, Miss Lorriell, God's daughter, and motivate the people?
You can do anything you put your mind to. And that's one thing that my favorite scripture has always been, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Because no matter how big the obstacle may seem, no matter how big the issues may seem, the more you start to say that I know I can, I think I like, because that's not even I think I can anymore. If it's meant to happen and you have God on your side, it's a simple I know I can. I remember when I started posting on TikTok, I'm like, these people weren't gonna want to follow me. I'm just a random girl who's posting videos. Like everybody else is doing all these dance trends, stuff like that. I'm just sitting here talking to people, and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Even through the not knowing what I was doing, I was able to get a large audience by just being myself. And so I know that I can if I just put my mind to it. Your mindset is everything. How you think about things is everything. How you frame what you're thinking about is everything. If you say, I think I can, well, I don't know if I can, maybe I can, you've already put doubt into the mix. If you just say, I know I can, I'm going to give it all that I got. And no matter what happens, I know that it was an experience, whether it was a learning experience or it was a winning experience. Either way you go, I learned something or I experienced what I needed to experience in that time. So just start with your mindset. I know I can. I know I will. With God on my side, all things are possible.
And she just dropped the mic on us. Drop, drop. Yo, I love it. And I always mute myself when my guests are talking and I'm over here talking to y'all and the mic was still muted. So, you all, are you excited? L'Oreal just dropped all the good stuff on us. And when she released the confidence code, we're going to come back. We're going to have her to read some of the book. We're going to get into the confidence code, and we're going to find out confidence code. Why you try name it the confidence code and all of the things. But I wanted to close out this episode, inviting you all back to the next episode. Thanking Miss Lorriell for joining us. Y'all connect with this awesome woman. And again, she will be back. Y'all tune in every single week for the You Can Show, where we will prove to you that you can. Today, you learned that you can overcome doubt, you can overcome bullying, you can overcome lack of self-confidence, and you can absolutely go forth. So I dare you to destroy doubt. Believe in the God in you. Dream bigger, achieve bigger. Why? Because you absolutely can. This is the You Can Show, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.